Well, Roger, how was fishing?
Absolutely incredible, Kyle. This is one of your newer outposts. It's really a really beautiful lake. It's got so many nice walleyes, 18 to 23 inches.
Awesome.
We had an awesome trip. This is Kyle Taylor, Ginger, 11 years, the senior pilot at Showalter's Flying Outpost. I'm Roger Cormier. We are just getting ready to leave one of Showalter's newest outposts and fly back to the base in Ear Falls. Wanted to tell you about a little bit about our fishing trip here, and then we're going to get back to base with Kyle, and he's going to give us an overview of the Showalter's float plane fleet and a true behind-the-scenes look at how a Canadian flying fishing operator runs the operation, takes care of the guests, and everything that they do to make the operation run smoothly throughout the year. Our fishing trip was phenomenal, hundreds of walleyes. We were blessed yesterday. Eddie and Michael Showalter swung in to see us and jumped in a boat with us, and we went out and filmed a show with those guys in just a couple hours. Kyle, it was doubles and triples. We just pounded on nice fish.
Awesome.
So we're gonna get our gear on the new Kodiak here, get back to the base in Ear Falls, get with Kyle and learn some more about the fleet, and also talk some more fishing here at Showalter's Flying Outposts. All right, so we're back at the Showalter's base. Just to clarify, I obviously introduced you by your formal name, Kyle Taylor or KT, but everybody calls you Ginger, including me.
Yeah.
So we'll call you Ginger here going forward now that we've introduced you. And we're standing in front of the new flagship of your fleet, the plane that you picked us up in and brought us back in, this 2013 Kodiak. Unbelievable plane. It looks brand new, and we'll talk about it in a minute. But why don't you give us a quick overview of the entire Showalter's plane fleet?
So we're currently running two Beech 18 twin engine float planes. We have the Beaver DHC2 as well as a Cessna 180 that we use for camp checks. The Cessna is just a small little plane we use for checking the camps. Eddie will take it out and check all the guests during your midweek camp check.
Okay.
It's just got a little 235 horsepower engine in it. Cruises about 120 miles an hour.
Okay. What about the Beaver?
The Beaver we use for about 4 people in gear. That's usually what we'll haul in that. It cruises about 110, 115 mile an hour. But it's a workhorse.
What's the horsepower on that plane?
That's got a 450 horsepower engine, which is also the same engines that are on the Beech. So the Beech has 2 twin 450 horsepower engines.
And what's your guest capacity on those beach crafts?
On the Beaches, we run 6 in gear.
Okay. Let's talk about this Kodiak, because again, this is a different animal. I've been on lots of float planes, lots of places. I've been coming to Showalter's for almost 30 years, primarily flying in beach crafts and Beavers with you. This is an incredible aircraft, and it's got some features and benefits to you as an operation that we really want to kind of highlight. So let's talk about, first of all, what's your cruising speed on this plane?
So this cruises about 150 to 160 knots, which is about 45, 50 mile an hour faster than the Beech on average.
You've got 18 outposts here at Showalter's. What kind of air miles are we talking about from base here to, the range of those different 18 outposts?
So it's anywhere from 40 to 140 miles.
So it's a huge benefit having a faster airplane. You're able to get your guests and gear to the destinations, to and from the destinations faster. And a great advantage as a Showalter's guest, because you're able to fly much more quickly to your outpost and get fishing that much quicker, which is
absolutely
cool. The other thing I really think is neat about this plane, I'm accustomed when a plane's been sitting for a little bit, there's a long taxi period. Talk about how you have to warm up the traditional engines in the Beaver and the Beech crafts compared to this Kodiak, and also, things like the horsepower and things like that as well.
So this has a 750 horsepower turbine engine on it. It's a Pratt & Whitney PT6. As far as warming up, once it's started, it's almost ready to go. The most you're looking at is your amperage on your alternator and generator, making sure that's not going to overboost. And by the time you turn around and get to the buoy, you're ready to go.
In those cold spring and fall days, if you're coming up and going in one of the other planes, what's a traditional warm-up period for the beach crafts and the Beaver?
On the radial engines, it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the day.
So again, more efficiency in terms of the
Absolutely.
operation, but you can also land this plane. I mean, it's incredible with being able to put her in reverse and stop this plane kind of on a dime. Talk about that a little bit. We saw that when you came in today to grab us.
Yeah, so this is a stall aircraft. So a short takeoff and landing. It doesn't need much room at all, and when you're light on fuel like we were when we took off, we only needed about 600 feet of water before we were in the air.
Unbelievable. This is a great plane. Talk about some of the other features of the plane as far as ergonomics or anything else you want to highlight in the Kodiak.
So the Kodiak has full Garmin G1000 glass cockpit in it, which is really nice. Everything you need is on there. We also have XM radio.
Oh, nice.
As well as we have air conditioning.
Yeah, on those hot summer days.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. And another thing I noticed is I didn't need to put any earphones on or put my earbuds in. You know, the plane is so quiet. You can sit there and have a conversation with people as you're flying, which is super neat as well.
That's very nice.
Talk about the carbon fiber floats, because that's really cool too. Folks, if you've ever flown in float planes before and brought your gear up to Canada, a lot of gear goes in the floats. Those traditional floats get a little wet sometimes. Talk about the carbon fiber.
So the carbon fiber is nice as it's all one piece. So the only water that you ever get in those is just condensation.
And these are lighter too than traditional.
They're about
floats.
450 pounds lighter than a traditional aluminum float.
The Showalter's Outposts are very well equipped. Ginger, why don't you talk about the amenities that all the Outposts offer, as well as the guest capacity at them?
So we're running anywhere from 6 to 16 people in our Outpost. Comes with everything: hot, cold running water, propane, solar, fridges, stoves, everything needed there. We also have boats, motors, Yamaha 99s.
Unlimited gas.
Unlimited gas, boat seats, cushions, swivel seats, as well as nets at every outpost.
This is tremendous fishing up here in Northwest Ontario. As I mentioned, I've been coming for decades. I've brought my kids here over the years when they were younger. It's a great family destination. You've heard the stories of people coming into these camps and literally catching thousands of fish in a week's trip. I hope you enjoyed our tour of Showalter's operations and learning more about the float plane fleet that they use to get you into some great fishing. Ginger, if folks want to reach Showalters, how do they do it?
You can go to showalters.com or contact the number on your screen.
I hope you enjoyed the segment today, folks. It's been a lot of fun fishing up here like it always is. I'm Roger Cormier. We'll be right back with more Midwest Outdoors.